November, no, November 8th, 2023. It's Lindsay again, and I realized I was watching this video that I just made, and I have a correction. I said that Bob Sussman, the man who my mother was married to, who supposedly died in 2009, he wasn't a transgender. I'm sorry, he was a cross dresser, not a transgender. I got that mixed up. My mistake. And I just wanted to correct that. He was a cross dresser. And the reason I know that is because when and I have proof of all this shit too, and they're trying to steal my inheritance and treat me like I'm crazy when all this shit is valid. Everything I'm saying is the truth. But anyway, um, he when I first moved to San Antonio, San Antonio in 2016, I very soon after got this Facebook friend request from a crossdresser person by the name of Emma West on Facebook. Emma, Emma, last name West. And the more I was like, I immediately, as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's Bob Sussman. That's Bob Sussman, Mr. Robert J. Sussman, my mother's deceased husband. I was like, that's Bob, but he's dressed as a woman. He had on, she was wearing a wig, or he, whatever, cross dresser, whatever they want to be called. He was wearing he was wearing a wig and glasses, but I could tell that it was Bob. I could tell by his facial features and everything that was Bob Sussman. And I could also tell from all the other photos that that was, in fact, Robert Sussman, the man my mother was married to, the man who exploited me for so many years. Okay? And tried to take over my life. So I know it sounds crazy. I know people are going to be angry for me stating the truth about this, but this man, whoever the fuck he really is, and why my mother was involved with him, and why it all happened right around the time that I got out of college at UT and after I'd signed these release forms in the entertainment industry, and I had been filmed and whatnot and exploited to no end. And after I had met that man, Walter Schutze, and after he died, all this weird stuff started happening to me. So I can't help but wonder, is it connected somehow, you see? But because of the fact that I keep on talking about it and I've been researching it and trying to get little answers and whatnot for so long, I just get punished, gang stalked, blacklisted, and all this stuff. When all I'm looking for is the truth, which obviously I'm not expecting to get any kind of verbatim truth from my mother or any relatives, because they fucking lie. Narcissistic people lie to cover their fucking crimes and bullshit things that they've done because they're too ashamed. But see, that's the way I grew up. It's just like, instead I was just sent to one fucking psychiatrist after the next for no reason, except that my mother was having adulterous affairs and was a narcissist. But it was my fault. All my fault. Is a 5-year-old, 10-year-old, my fault. Even though I did well in school, I was a good kid. I didn't do drugs. I didn't do anything wrong. My mother fucking hated the shit out of me, and still to this day does. And I blame, one thing I will talk about right now while I'm thinking about it is how much I cannot stand the whole adoption industry and all this shit that people, if you're irresponsible enough to have a child that you don't want, or if you have made a mistake and you got pregnant and you had a child, instead of having an abortion, instead you had the kid and you treat that child like shit and exploit your own kid and abuse your child for profit or human trafficking or whatever the hell, sick pedophile or whatever the hell sick some of these fucking people do, that's sick. And you, as a parent, should go straight to fucking hell if such a place exists. You should die, as far as I'm concerned, for abusing your kids like that. It's not fair. It's your fault. Your negligence. You should have, for some of you women who have kids and you can't fucking take care of it and you put it up for adoption and all this shit because you're a drug addict or whatever. I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry. I feel sorry for your kid. I don't feel sorry for you. What you did is wrong. That's not fair because now guess who has to pay the consequences for your fucked up mistakes? Your child. Your child. Whether the child was born from adultery, whether the child was put up for adoption, look at what they have to go through, the trauma that they have to face every day because of your mistakes as a negligent, irresponsible parent. And you people think it's trendy and cool to just, oh, let me just have 5, 6 kids. I don't give a shit about any of them. And, you treat them like they're animals, like they're objects. Some of you narcissistic parents, and shame on you. Shame on you is what I say. And I don't have any kids. I don't want any kids, and I'm glad I don't. But I see so much societal narcissism where kids are basically exploited at young ages like little sex objects and treated like shit by their own parents because of your fucked up parents. And yeah, it is your parents' fault. It is. It is. It certainly is. It is by 100% their fault.